I am happy to be here to talk to you about the programs that we have available. I'm going to put in the chat a uh, link so that if you, this is basically just so that we get some information on you and you get into our system so that I'm able to follow up with you if you have questions. If you have questions, you can always get in touch with us. But if you fill out that form, it'll just let us know what programs that you're thinking about, and it'll give you updates about our programs, scholarships, and any other information. It'll also give me access to your email in case you have questions, and then I can get back to you. So let me just start with, this is my contact information. So if you do want to get in touch with me, that's a good way to do it, either through my email or that's my cell phone number. I'm happy to talk to you. As Ari said, I've been with Arcadia for a long time, about 16 years, and I've been working with Brandeis that entire time. So I know a lot about what Brandeis students are looking for, how your academics are structured, some of this, and lots of students who have been on our programs. So I know that if you have questions, I'm definitely a good person to ask you for that. Just a little bit quickly about Arcadia. We are an actual university just outside of Philadelphia. We do send about 2,500 students abroad per year pre-COVID, but we've been sending students abroad for 65 plus years, and have programs in, actually I have to change that because we did close a couple of our locations. We have programs in 9 different countries at this point. What do we have that's available for you? Basically, we have semester and academic year programs. We have some STEM summer research and STEM options for semester as well. And we also have summer study abroad programs that are available. I'm happy to talk about any of the programs. What I'm going to do here is just give you a brief overview about the programs. I'm going to also flip over to our website at the end so that you can see a little bit more specifically what I'm talking about. But what you will find on our website is our program finder. And on that, it's going to give you an opportunity to choose the semester you want to go abroad, the areas of study that you're looking for, location either specifically to a country, or if you want a big city or a small city. And then if you're looking for traditional study abroad courses, if you're looking for internships, you can choose the different program types as well. And once you choose all those things, what it's going to do is sort of give you a list of programs in these they're like little cards, and it'll give you the programs a little bit more directly about what each of those programs are. And like I said, I'm going to go to our website in a little bit so that you can see that more specifically. These are the programs that are currently approved by Brandeis for Arcadia. So hopefully you're looking at one of these. And again, I'm happy to talk to you specifically about any of these programs, or if at another point you want to set up individual times to meet with me, you can do that as well. But we have programs in England, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. And again, some of these are specific programs like our internship programs, where you would have the opportunity to do an internship as well as do some additional coursework. We have places that you can do classes directly at, places like King's College or University of Edinburgh or University of Sydney. And then we have some STEM summer research opportunities as well. And those will also give you like an internship, an opportunity to have a hands-on experience, more experiential opportunities as well. So this just is to give you an overview of all of the programs that we do currently approve. As I mentioned, we do have the STEM summer research programs. Unfortunately, some of the programs have been limited for this coming summer, but we do still have some that are available. And if you go onto our website, you'll be able to see the courses, or I'm sorry, the projects that are available. So the way that our STEM summer research works is that the projects are listed and they're specific to somebody who is leading that research project. So it'll have a little bit about who the researcher is and about the actual research project that's being done. And when you apply for STEM Summer Research, you actually apply specifically to one of those projects. So you'll get an idea of what the opportunities are. We also have Jessie Gwynn, who is our STEM or is our Associate Dean for STEM. And if you have any sorts of questions about either the research projects or the STEM semester options, he'll be able to help you with those opportunities as well. Some of the things that we can help you do, whether it's STEM or other courses, is help you do some curriculum matching. So if you know that there's a course that you need and you're having a hard time finding it, you can always send us the syllabus or the course description, and we can try and help you find an equivalent course so that you can then bring that back to your department to make sure that you would that course will transfer in for the major credit that you need. Again, just talking a little bit about our London internship program, which is a program that you can do as a student. You would be taking classes as well as doing an internship. So the courses are either through our London Center or through one of our partners that we work with. So for instance, Queen Mary. So you would do your internship, and that's usually done 3 days a week, and you would take an additional 3 courses. So total you'd be doing 4 courses. One of those courses is the internship course, which is the internship is embedded in that course and you have a project for it. And then the other 3 courses would either be through the Arcadia Center or through our partner, like I mentioned. These internships really give you a great opportunity to get, like I said, firsthand experience in your field of study. And we have an internship coordinator who is helping to find that internship for you. If you get accepted into the program, we do guarantee that we will find you an internship. On our website, you can get what's called our field placement guide. And on that, it's going to give you more information about what the different fields that we do have available. There may not everything may be listed on there. Those are our most popular. We have had students who have had unusual requests, and if that's the case, then let us know, because we can probably help you or get you in an internship in one of those as well. So the nice thing about our internships is that they really are personalized, where you're giving us more information about what it is that you want to do, and then we will work to find that internship for you. And these are done on, this is what's approved is for the semester option. So this is a great opportunity if you do want that hands-on experience. And this, I forgot this, I put this in here. So this is just the internship placement fields, as I mentioned. So like I said, it's not only these fields, but this is some of the most popular, whether it's accounting or business or health, psychology and health, public relations, theater. There's really a wide variety that you can choose from. I think I probably covered most of this stuff. Basically, you'd be working with our program managers and the internship placement coordinator through the process to get a placement offer. So why do you go with Arcadia? Why do you use us? I think one of the biggest things is what we're there to help with. So one of the things, we have staff that are based in the US, and that includes me, the program managers, our finance, our academic staff, who are primarily based in Pennsylvania. What they're helping with is from the beginning, from trying to find the right program to course selection, housing, visa, all those types of things. Our program managers are really there to help you find the right program for you, along with your staff at Brandeis. So, you know, one of the reasons Brandeis does work with programs like Arcadia is for that just additional layer of support. So we want to be there to help you in conjunction with Ari and the rest of the staff at Brandeis. So once you've decided that you're going on a program and go through the application process and get accepted, our program managers would also help you through the pre-departure orientation and that kind of stuff. Once you get in country, we do have staff in all of our locations, and they're there as your emergency contact 24/7. But they're also there as your support throughout the semester. They do orientation when you first arrive. They're doing activities and excursions throughout the semester and dealing with any sort of emergency situations that might come up for you, whether it's personal, academic, a housing issue, anything like that. And depending on where you're going, you may be in a city where we have staff, or our staff may be, an hour away or a couple hours away, but they're always going to have direct contact with you throughout the semester. You're always going to start with them through that orientation process. They're all going to have activities and excursions throughout the semester, and you're always going to have 24/7 contact, emergency contact. So even if you're in London, that's where one of our biggest centers are. Or if you're in New Zealand and you're at the University of Otago, while we don't have a full-time staff member there, we have a full-time staff member on the South Island. So they're within a quick commute to get to you if anything they needed to be there. Our staff in country is really a mix of both U.S. expats as well as people from those countries. So really they want to be able to help you get acclimated, to get settled into the country that you're looking at, and to give you opportunities to learn more about the country and culture that you're in. So in terms of if you're interested, for those who may have come in a little bit late, I did put in the chat, and I'll put it in again because I don't know if it'll show up for those of you that were already or didn't come in till later. This is so that you get into our system so that we're able to give you updates on programs and scholarships, deadlines, and those kinds of things. But really what your steps are making sure that you go through the process through Brandeis, the application process through Brandeis. And you can also start the application on our website at any point. That will get you, like I said, into our system. Each of the programs will have a different application requirements. So for some of the programs, you might have to have an academic advisor recommendation form. For others, you might have to have a writing sample. And for then other programs, you may not need any of those things. But once you go into our system and start an application, what you'll see is our student portal will have a checklist of all the things that you need to do. The other thing that our program managers will help you with is choosing courses. So again, if you need help looking at course descriptions or finding the right courses, they're there to help you with that as well. We do also have scholarships that are available that you can apply for through us, and those scholarships are both Arcadia specific, or some of the universities that we work with, or some organizations that we work with may have some additional scholarships as well. So I'm gonna, before we start some questions, I just want to stop sharing that and get onto my other page. Sorry about this. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again and get you to this page. So this is our website, and I just wanted to come here for a quick second just to talk a little bit more, go specific into some of the things I talked about. So this is our program finder here. And like I said, what you can do is choose different areas. So if you're looking at biological sciences and want a biology program, and you want something for the spring semester, and you want to be in England, basically then what you will get is this layout of the different options that are available. And then not all of the programs that will pop up on here are things that are approved by Brandeis. So what you want to do is just cross-check the approved list on your website. with to make sure that those are approved. So one I know that is approved is Queen Mary. So I'm going to click into this for just a second. And what this is going to do is it's going to have an overview of all of our programs, but some of the most important things are going to be over here on this right-hand side. And it's going to talk about what the GPA requirement is. And you're going to see two different things. So for Queen Mary, it's the same. The GPA for recommended and for consideration are the same. But what you might see is the GPA for consideration for some other schools might be something like a 2.8. So basically what that means is that the recommendation is a 3.0. If it says 2.8, it means that the school will still look at your application, but they may require additional material that will say why your GPA is not at the 3.0 recommended, or they might ask for an additional letter of reference or something like that in order to consider you. But if your GPA is, if you have any questions about that, definitely be in touch with us so that we can give you the most up-to-date information, and if there's any things that you need to think about if you don't meet the recommended GPA requirement. One of the other things on here for each of the different universities is it's going to have the course overview. And what's really important here is it's going to talk about for each of the different universities what those courses are going to look like. And they're different depending on, it might be different by country, or it might even be different by school in each of the countries. So what this will talk about is how many courses you're going to be taking in each of those locations. So in England, generally you'll be taking 4 courses. In Scotland, you might only be taking 3 courses. In Ireland, you might be taking up to 6 courses. But generally, the number of credits you're going to get are always going to be pretty much 15 or 16 credits. Might be a little less or a little bit more. I think Brandeis has a requirement that they're doing at least 15 credits, if I'm correct. Is that correct? All right, yes, okay. So this is going to talk about the course considerations, any sort of restrictions that a university might have, you're going to find here. And then it will also link you to the courses for that university. So you'll be able to go directly into the course catalog for that university. And again, some of these can be way more confusing than what you're used to in the US, but we're happy to help you through that. But what you'll find on here is the different courses that are available and either a description or a full syllabus you might find on this website for that. So the other stuff that's on here is how courses are structured. So whether you should be looking, what level courses you might be able, you might look at. So for instance, at Queen Mary, this talks about the different levels. Level 7 is graduate level, so you wouldn't take that. Most students in study abroad would probably be taking a level 5. Occasionally, you might take a level 6, depending on your background in that course. And then finally, it'll go through the grading scale for each of the different locations that we're in. So it'll have some information there about the courses there. The other big thing that's on here is about housing, and that always is a question that comes up. Every university is going to have housing that's slightly different. So when you find the different universities that you want to consider, if you have questions about housing, this is a good place to start. So for instance, at Queen Mary, all of the housing is pretty much in the same area. So you'll be able to look here and see what the housing looks like, whether it's catered or not catered, and then just additional information about location. One thing to keep in mind is depending on what university you choose. So for an example, in England, Queen Mary and King's. Queen Mary is more of a campus, so it's going to be more probably what you're used to at Brandeis, where you're going to be living and taking classes really within the same small area. A place like King's, which is more centrally located in the central business district of London, while you'll be taking classes in that central area, your housing might be up to 45 minutes away. So you need to think about the housing dependent on the location of the university. And again, that's something we can talk about, but that's going to go into detail here about the housing options. Most of our housing options are self-catered, but there are some locations that are catered. which means you will have the option of having a meal plan. Many students want to have the self-catered option so that they can cook for themselves and um, have a better budget in terms of when they're eating or what they're eating. The other things that you'll find on here are information about our staff, more information about Queen Mary, and then some of the excursions and activities that I talked about. So on each of the pages, again, it has a little bit about our current status. Because of COVID, we're not doing very much in terms of excursions and activities for students that we do have abroad. But this will give you a sample of things that we typically do. And hopefully by the time you all are going, we will be back to a more normal travel opportunity schedule for students. But it has some information about some of the different activities that we've done in the past. Some of these activities might be day trips or an evening at the theater. Some might be weekend trips. In the past, we've done local weekend trips within England. We've gone to Wales. We've brought students to France through the Channel. So there are some great opportunities. Some of them are included in the fees that you're already paying for the program. Some might be an additional fee. So usually the weekend trips are going to be an additional fee that you'll pay, but they're all very reasonable and discounted for what you would pay as if you were doing it on your own typically. You'll also find on here our program dates. And again, you might not see the current program dates for the fall 21. Those probably will be up within the next month or so. But what you can do is look at the dates that were on there for the previous fall or this spring to get an idea of essentially what those dates will look like in the future. They won't change very well. They shouldn't change very much. Again, these are all pre-COVID discussions that I'm having, but they shouldn't change too much within a week or two. There'll be additional information about travel and visa information. So this is a great place to go if you have questions about any of that kind of stuff. And then finally, there'll be the deadlines. So the deadline that you have through Brandeis is going to always be earlier than our deadlines. So that's something just to keep in mind. If you're applying for the fall, deadlines are typically going to be between now and April. If you're looking to apply for, those are the deadlines for Arcadia. If you're looking to apply for the summer, those are typically going to be usually by March 1st or 15th. And then if you're looking for the spring of 2022, most of those deadlines are going to be September, October. I think the King's deadline is super early in August, but other than that, the rest of them will be later on in the semester. The other thing I just wanted to show you on here is the information about the scholarships that I mentioned. We do have scholarships that you can apply for through us. Those are done on a rolling basis. So once you start your application with us, you can also look at the scholarships that we have available. And again, we have semester, we have summer, we have scholarships that are Arcadia scholarships. And then we also have general scholarships that might be specific to where you live in the country or the specific universities that you're looking at attending or things like that. So all of that information will be here on our website as well. And I think other than if you want further information, we do have student blogs that you can look at, and that's going to give you a good opportunity to see some of the things students are saying that were on the programs. We do also have student alumni ambassadors. So if you want to get in touch with one of our alumni, you can go to our alumni page, and that's going to have the alumni listed on here as well. So I think that's all of my general overview. So I want to open it up for questions and see what sorts of questions you might have.
And I'll chime in as well while folks start to think about any questions they might have for Wendy. So like Wendy was saying, in order to apply to study abroad, you'll submit an application to Brandeis, and that application is due March 4th for the fall and the spring semester. So if you're interested in studying abroad fall 2021 or spring 2022, then you'll submit that application to Brandeis by March 4th of this year, so about 6 weeks from now. And I know that you guys have been getting a lot of emails about that, so that should not be a surprise. And then, as Wendy was talking about, you will also submit an application to Arcadia, and their timeline is what she was talking about, where the application would be late spring for the fall semester, and sometime over the summer / late summer, early fall for the spring semester. So I'm going to put another link in the chat just for everyone to take a look at. This is our Getting Started page. This is where you go to create your study abroad account with Brandeis, look through our approved programs, like Wendy was talking about, and set up a time to meet with myself or one of the other study abroad advisors to get started on your application, though I know some people already have. So, does anybody have any questions for me or for Wendy?
Yeah, I have a question.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Annabelle. So I was looking at a program in Edinburgh, but this is more, like, this could be a general question for other people too. I've noticed that some locations or universities have two programs, one with like Arcadia or one with some other competing program, like IFSA. How do you think we should go about choosing between two programs that look pretty similar on paper?
Yeah, I mean, I would say what I can do is talk about Arcadia and what we have.
Okay.
For us, I really value the staff that we have in country, and I think for us, a big part of our staff is the depth and the length of time that they've been working with us. So while the programs that you might be looking at between us and another provider, what you want to do is get in touch with both of those locations. Get in touch with us, get in touch with the other provider, ask some questions, see who you feel comfortable with, but really think about, look at what are the additional things that we're doing in country, what do the excursions look like. And again, I'm going to toot the horn of our staff, both in Scotland and England and Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, that we have staff that have been with us for a number of years. And I think that's really important for students, because they do have the most knowledge. They're able to talk about any sort of issues or concerns. They have the strong connections with our partner universities. And so if there's an issue that comes up with housing, to be able to have somebody who has those strong connections, it's very important. And then particularly, I mean, unfortunately, with the times of COVID, having staff that are very experienced has been very useful because of any of the things that go on. But what I would say is get in touch and see who you meet, who you feel comfortable with, and I'm confident that me and my Arcadia colleagues will definitely give you the support that you need for that. And like I said, there's the additional things. We do have scholarships available and things like that, but you're going to find a lot of similarities. Talk to students who have been in the past. Like I said, you can get in touch with our alumni ambassadors if you want to. I'm happy to get you in touch with any of them as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hello, I have a couple clarifying questions.
Sure.
So once we apply to the program, is it then like if we had questions about visas or about specific courses for us, do we get in touch with the ambassadors once we apply to the Arcadia program, or can we do that before? And
You
then
can do-
oh no, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, let me do that one first. So if you have questions, it would be our program managers, me or our program managers that would be working with you if you have questions about courses or housing or things like that. The ambassadors, our alumni ambassadors, are more for that student perspective. So they might be helpful if you want to know what's the student life like and that kind of stuff, and you want the student perspective. But if you have any questions about specifics about, am I eligible to take this course, or how is this housing different than something else, then talk to our staff directly versus our alumni.
Okay, and we can find the contact information online for the staff?
Yeah, and you can always get in touch with me, or Ari has our contacts as well. But you can always get in touch with me. I'll stick my email in the chat again. And I can point you, if I can't answer it, I can point you in the right direction.
Okay, awesome. And then I had a next question. So there's an application to study abroad through Brandeis, and then do we have to fill out another application for Arcadia? Okay, so there are two applications.
Yeah, so there's two applications. There's your Brandeis application, which is a general, you've been approved to study abroad. And
Okay.
then there's the Arcadia application specific to the program that you'd be applying to. Make sure
Okay.
you do both. We've unfortunately had students in the past who missed the step of applying through Arcadia. And so make sure you're definitely doing both of those applications.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Sure. Other questions, either about specific programs, about areas of study, anything like that, about any of our excursions or staffing?
Cool. Well, seeing none, I would say thank you, Wendy, for taking the time to come and share more about programs with Arcadia. Annabelle, did you have another question?
I was just gonna say thank you before I go.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
Okay.
Thank you all for being here. We will send out this recording, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any of the staff in the study abroad office, or Wendy or any of her colleagues at Arcadia if you have additional questions about these programs.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.